then, now. Forever. Together.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Weekly Roundup. Got a new little setup here. We're going to just see how it works. But let's head into Monday Night Raw. We start out the show with Gunther calling out Damian Priest, who comes and defends himself. But Drew McIntyre comes out, he interrupts and inserts himself into this equation since he's now the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And he will be taking on Damian Priest at Clash at the Castle. But now we have Braun Strowman getting a massive win over JD McDonough. A fun match that had a whole rivalry going throughout the remainder of Monday Night Raw. He was trying to chase him. JD tried to hit Braun with a chair, or did lightly, and not a great decision from JD there. But a whole running storyline for the rest of the night. But a great match with Braun Strowman picking up the victory. But now we have Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov heating up until a suspended Brock Breaker came in and absolutely just wreaked havoc. He had the match in a disqualification. They were cooking. Ilya versus Ricochet 2 was cooking. It was a great match thus far. Then Braun Breaker just came in and destroyed everyone. He was suspended by Adam Pearce, and he doesn't care anything about that suspension. But now we have the Final Testament getting a nice win over the Creed brothers. Great showing for them, new to Monday Night Raw, and this is going to do nothing but help them in the long run. But congratulations to Final Testament for that victory. But now we have a call out from Sheamus, leading to an all-out brawl between him and Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser's first singles run, I believe, on the main roster. So we'll see how to do. Him versus Sheamus is interesting. It's something that we've never seen before, at least not one-on-one, and can't wait to see it. But now we have Lyra Valkyria is being able to bounce back and get a win over Kairi Sane. She lost to Nia Jax, was not able to win the Queen of the Ring tournament, but she got her lick back essentially and was able to get a win over a former tag team champion in Kairi Sane. So congratulations to Lyra Valkyria, who eventually is going to win that women's world title. It's just a matter of time. But now we have Rey Mysterio and Carlito just going at it there, throwing it back. A match that happened so many years ago. We're getting a rematch. We're getting a part 2 or part 3, whatever you want to call it. And Rey Mysterio was able to pick up the win over Carlito. You know, he's been kind of sided with the Judgment Day. They're leaving after turning on the LWO. And Rey was able to pick up the win. So congratulations to Rey Mysterio. But now we have Otis losing to Big Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable is not happy about it. So much so that he attempts to spank Otis. Yeah. But Maxine Dupree stepped in and tried to help, and then Sammy came out and tried to help. And it was an interesting segment, and it's just a matter of time before Otis really turns on him. It didn't happen at King and Queen of the Ring. It didn't happen tonight on Raw, but we're getting closer and closer and closer to that. Otis putting the chair in Chad Gable's back, essentially. You know what Seth did that to the Shield, but it's going to get a big pop. We were waiting for Otis to do it. He didn't do it just yet, but it's coming. It is coming. But now we have in the main event a women's steel cage match for the Women's World Championship. And Liv Morgan was able to retain. Like I said earlier, this whole running rivalry with JD McDonough and Braun Strowman, that ended up costing the match because Dominik Mysterio, he messed up at King and Queen of the Ring. He sat there and kind of messed up Becky's opportunity to retain. allowing Liv to win. He was trying to right his wrong, but as he was opening the door for Becky, Braun Strowman ran into him. He closed the door. It hit Becky's face, and Liv was able to get the win. She was able to escape and retain the Women's World Championship. But that's not what the talk of the town was. That is not what everybody was talking about after this match. No, it was what closed out Monday Night Raw for us here in the United States. At least for me, it got cut off by the USA Network. But when we looked on WWE socials, we saw the kiss seen all around the world. Liv Morgan kissed Dominik Mysterio, and I'm just gonna add this: Dom did not look very pleased with this. Now, he has a broken arm or has some kind of arm injury. He didn't push back, but on socials you can see he was disgusted by it. He did not want it to happen. And I think this is Liv Morgan playing mind games, trying to get under the skin of the Judgment Day, trying to get under the skin of Becky Lynch, trying to get under the skin of eventually Rhea Ripley when she comes back to WWE. And yeah, just disgusting. Rhea is not going to be happy about this one. But now on Friday night SmackDown, the show kicks off with Queen Nia and her coronation, and Queen Nia called out Bayley, who she's going to be fighting possibly at SummerSlam for the women's championship, and as Bayley comes out, she's attacked by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, who say by the time SummerSlam comes around, Piper will be champion. Here's a little twist. What if Chelsea won Money in the Bank because of Piper, and then Chelsea cashed in on Bayley, and then it's Nia versus Chelsea? Never say never in this business, folks. Never say never. I may be reaching out a little too far. Chelsea Green would most definitely be a great Money in the Bank holder, as well as Tiffany Stratton. But I heard the argument made that Tiffany doesn't really need it. She's already a main event. She's already contended for the championship. But Chelsea, she's in the mid-card scene, the tag team scene, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is the way to put her in that main event scene with that Money in the Bank, and she will be hilarious as a Money in the Bank holder. But great segment. But after that, we had Grayson Waller running his mouth, and he distracts Austin Theory to the point to where Tommaso Ciampa had a chance to pick up the win. Now, this is very interesting because Austin Theory, Grayson Waller have been a tag team for a few months. Now it's been a while. They are the tag team champions on SmackDown, but we're having these hints of maybe we're gonna get Austin versus Grayson. Austin Theory may be about to turn babyface. Austin Theory may truly become that John Cena-like babyface that Vince McMahon wanted him to be when he pushed him to the moon. Maybe this is the time to turn Austin Theory babyface. We're already having the seeds planted that there's a little bit of disagreement. Grayson was running his mouth acting like he made Austin Theory. Austin Theory was on the main roster way before him. Multi-time United States champion, Money in the Bank holder, the protege of Mr. McMahon for a certain amount of time. And Grayson's acting like he made Austin Theory relevant. And I don't think Austin's going to take too much liking to that. And this may lead to the demise of A-Town Down Under and lead to a blow-off match, maybe at SummerSlam, for who's better. It doesn't need a title. It doesn't need a championship. It doesn't need none of that. This is just an old-fashioned break up the tag team, put them against each other, and who comes out better. If they really want to push Austin Theory again, give Austin the win. Grayson, he's going to be good. He future WWE champion. And Austin Theory needs this. He may need this face turn. After Vince was out, his push kind of stopped. And I love what they're doing with A-Town Down Under, but if they're going to go this way, make him babyface. Make him the next John Cena, essentially, after Cody Rhodes. But this is very interesting. But let's get on to what happened next. We had Andrade getting a nice win over Apollo Crews, much to the approval of Legado del Fantasma, until he disrespected them afterwards. Now, that was not to their liking, but before that, Angel was trying to get him to be a part of Legado, trying to cheer him on a little bit. But I don't think Andrade is interested in none whatsoever. And he was able to pick up the win over Apollo Crews. Now we have an amazing segment. Oh my gosh. If you did not see it, go back and watch it. Paul Heyman emotionally begs Kevin Owens to back off the Bloodline. And this leads to a brawl between the Bloodline and KO and the Street Profits. When this new Bloodline had a tag team match planned against the Street Profits. But this segment from Paul Heyman is like, hey, Kevin, I know I've messed up. I know I've done wrong. And he made some good points. It's like everybody else can get chance after chance after chance, but Paul Heyman can't change. Kevin, he was kind of making it whole like Kevin Owens, he's done bad things, and then he comes back. He has this turning a new leaf kind of moment, and he changes, but it seems like it's impossible for Paul Heyman. It seems like he's always going to be the bad guy, but I think Paul was being sincere. He's like, hey, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but hey, back off, because this is a different type of Bloodline. These are thugs. He called them thugs. That made me laugh. He was begging and pleading with Kevin Owens. And Kevin didn't want to hear it, but I think he really needs to consider what Paul is saying. Is he going to back off? No. But Nick Aldis, Kevin Owens, everybody needs to pay attention to Paul Heyman, because this is the Paul Heyman we have not seen before. One that is desperate, more desperate than when Roman was out for those few months and he was dealing with Jimmy, had the gray hair. This is a whole new Paul Heyman. This may be the point where we may see a babyface Paul Heyman lining up eventually with a babyface Roman Reigns, with a babyface OG Bloodline versus a new heel Bloodline led by Solo Sikoa or the People's Champion, The Rock. War Games match, perfect. Survivor Series coming up this year. They could slow build this. Hunter likes his long-term booking. Have it at Survivor Series. Old Bloodline, New Bloodline, War Games. Perfect. But until then, Paul Heyman has been the MVP of Friday Night SmackDown. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This promo proves it. Go back and watch it. It was amazing. But after a great tag team match, the New Bloodline was able to get a win over the Street Profits. Yeah, they're dangerous. If they lose, it's going to be like they won, because they're going to beat you up afterward. It really doesn't matter what their win-loss record is. They are going to beat you up. Y'all thought the old Bloodline was ruthless. You thought Roman was ruthless. No, this is a brand new Bloodline. It is not what it used to be. These are savages, and SmackDown, WWE as a whole, need to be on notice. And they made that very clear by taking out a legendary multi-tag team champion, former tag team champions in the Street Profits. But after a shocking ending, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven get a win over WWE Women's Champion Bayley and Naomi. This goes to show, like, Chelsea may win that Money in the Bank. Piper may be a future champion. It's just a matter of time. If they could beat both Bayley and Naomi, I get it, it's a tag match. But if you could pin two champions, both of them are, Bayley's the current champion, Naomi's a former champion. If you could pin them, all you got to do is just strategize and get them when they least expect it. Hit them with something that they're not going to see coming. 1, 2, 3. You only need 3 seconds to become a champion. and it may be in their future. But to close out the show, AJ Styles pulled the biggest lie that we've seen since Mark Henry. This whole episode has been about AJ wants to go out and address the WWE Universe with some seeds pointed of retirement. I thought he was going to say, hey, I'm going to TNA for a little while, because on NXT we had Jordan Grace coming in from TNA. So I was like, hey, maybe he's just going to take a little leave of absence, go to TNA for a little while. And a lot of people were thinking that, but he went with this retirement angle, like had the Good Brothers in there. He called out Cody. Cody was lifting up his hand, and he turned on him. It was a beauty. Was it predictable for some of us? Yes, but it was a beauty nonetheless. And I thought we were gonna have this mid. I thought AJ Styles turned full babyface here. I thought he almost had me thinking that he was done. He almost had me thinking he was done. But he turned full heel. He's been a heel, but now it's like him and Cody's last match. It was like, hey, this is like a handshake agreement. It's no disrespect. I respect you. You respect me. Let's fight. And let the best man win. But now, AJ is clearly out for blood. He is after the WWE Championship. Clash at the Castle. Maybe it's time for AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes, number 2. So with that being said, please make sure to like, please make sure to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I sure know I did. Always remember that Jesus loves you, and so do I. And we'll be back next week. I'll be with a brand new episode of Weekly Roundup. So until then, check out Ministry Minute, check out Matchup, check out Fight for Supremacy, and always remember to take care, and God bless. Jesus loves you so much. Remember that. Take care. God bless.